We're also streaming from that SuperTalk Mississippi app and your local SuperTalk Mississippi radio station. But don't forget, you can watch us too. We are on your computer, your mobile device. Just head on over to SuperTalk TV. You should. I've got a beautiful young lady in the studio today. We're gearing up for the 75th Annual Choctaw Indian Fair. It is July 8th through the 12th. And joining us today is Choctaw Indian Princess, Leilani Allen. So welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me.
It's good to have you here. Anytime we think about summer in Mississippi, one thing that always comes to mind is the Choctaw Indian Fair, and it is that time of year. So how are we gearing up for the 75th? What's happening special this year?
Well, it's our diamond year anniversary, and we have big entertainment lineup this year. Of course, we have a World Series stickball, then we have our competitions, and we have something for everyone this year at the fair, just like we do every year. But this is so exciting because not only is it the 75th Choctaw Indian Fair, but I get to crown the 70th Choctaw Indian Princess. So I'm really excited.
It is a big deal. I mean, 75 years, but then also 7 decades of having the Indian Princess. So let's go back to the 69th because that was kind of an important year for you, Leilani.
Yeah, it kind of was.
So talk about that pageant because it's unlike any other princess that we have in here, or queen or crown or whatever it may be. This one really takes into your culture and your community and represents so much for you guys. So what inspired you to do the pageant last year?
Well, other than my mom and my grandma, who also inspired me to run this year, it was for my little cousin Lucas. He died of brain cancer back in 2021, but he's always said that he wanted a princess in the family. So not only did I do it for my mom and my grandma, I did it also for him.
So what does the pageant entail? So for the girls that are getting ready for the 70th annual, what are they getting geared up for that pageant day?
Well, they are going to be nervous. I already know the feeling of overwhelming, having to feel the pressure of trying to be perfect. They don't need to be perfect. They just need to be their authentic self. So they are getting ready to showcase our culture and who they are and if they can represent the Mississippi Band of Choctaw Indians well.
Yeah. Do y'all go through similar things like questioning talent? How does the pageant run? What are the unique things the girls will put on display to ultimately find who will be the crown the princess?
Well, a couple of years ago, we switched from talent and some dresses to more culture. So we've got on-stage presentation, and then we have the Choctaw Regalia overview, which basically talks about what came into our regalia, why did we choose these colors, things like that. And then we have the onstage question, which basically kind of shows if she can be able to talk about her culture or say something that can be super, how do I say it?
Yeah, I mean, put it all together and then represent well. Well, you look beautiful for those looking at SuperTalk TV. So let's talk about your regalia. It's the big word you use for your outfit. Was that in play last year, Leilani, whenever you went for the pageant and had to choose what you would represent in terms of wearing?
Yes, I went beyond favorite colors or community colors. Like I mentioned earlier, my cousin Lucas died of brain cancer, so my dress was gray and white, and the color for brain cancer awareness is gray. So like I said, I did everything for him, so I wanted to contribute him in any way possible and pay tribute to him. So my colors were for him, and then my bead set was a flower design, and my name is Leilani, so Leilani means flower. So I incorporated my name and Lucas as well.
So when you can't just go to the store and buy one of y'all's beautiful outfits. No, you said, oh, no.
But luckily, my grandmother makes all my dresses.
So I was going to say, so the elders within the community, or is that passed down in terms of how to create your dresses and create your beadwork, or is that something that you can do, the beadwork part? Are you learning how to create the dresses?
I'm learning how to do beadwork. I'm waiting for my grandma to teach me how to make dresses and shirts.
I think that was a little wink over to Grandma that she's waiting to sort of be able to pass that down, because that's part of the culture, right? That's something that not anyone can just walk in and do. So to you guys, what would the beadwork specifically, is that worn? You mentioned, Leilani, your name is part of it, but does it represent other things? Do you put your culture into the beadwork other ways?
Well, we can add diamond designs if we wanted to pay tribute to the Eastern Diamondback rattlesnake, who protected our crops from the rodents. But really, it's all about what the artisan wants, or whoever wants the beadwork, whatever design they want.
Now, your crown is not a normal crown. I don't even know, do you call it a crown? Is it considered a crown?
Yes, ma'am.
It's beautiful
Thank
and
you.
shiny, and I would be terrified to take it out anywhere, but I'm sure it's still are. So do you get to keep that, or is that one that's passed on?
Yes, we get to keep our crowns. So the next princess will have her own crown.
So who makes that, or who made that?
Well, they are people who want to put in a crown. They usually do, and whoever, I think it's, I don't want to be mistaken, but I think it's chief that picks the crown that's going to be presented to the next Choctaw Indian Princess. Yeah.
So that's pretty special. Are you going to put it in a cage, in like a container, or how are you going to keep it from getting dusty?
Well, right now I have a crown box that my grandmother gifted me. It has my name on there and everything. It's real cute and has its own pillow in there. So I think for right now I want to keep it in there until I have unless I have another idea where I want to put it.
Well, I think that's a wonderful idea. It definitely doesn't need to go up in the attic. It's one of those things that needs to be out in the open. So how many girls will be taking the stage? I think that's coming up Wednesday, July the 9th for opening ceremonies for the Princess Pageant.
There will be 9 beautiful contestants this year.
9. So how do they get to that point? Are they chosen, selected, or do they just have the courage to go up there and do it? Because it would take a lot of courage to do that.
Well, it takes a lot of courage to do it. They go in and, usually our communities, the development clubs, they ask for like princess contestants. But the contestants themselves, they go and they fill out an application if they want to do it. Usually they select them. Yeah, that's how the process goes.
So your year's almost up, but you've had a pretty busy prior, 12 months, Leilani. What you been up to? Other than, obviously, the big thing is getting folks to realize about the Choctaw Fair, but what else have you been up to over the last year?
Well, I've been all over the state of Mississippi, near and far. Then I've been to other surrounding states as well. Then recently I went to Albuquerque, too. So I went everywhere to basically talk about the culture and talk about who the Mississippi Band of Choctaw Indians are. That was my role, and those were my responsibilities this year.
And that will be the next one. Is the pageant open to the public, Leilani?
Of course. And it's also on live stream as well. Okay, well, that's only part of it. That's Wednesday. I know the fair kicks off on Tuesday, I think it is, or July the 8th. I think that's a Tuesday. Yes. But you mentioned that you guys have already geared up and started going with the World Series Stickball Tournament. This is always so fascinating to me. When you see clips of it or see live stream of it, it's like, wow, why is this not in the Olympics, number one? And that it takes, you can tell that there's a lot of athleticism to it. How do you describe stickball to someone who may have never heard of it before? Well, I really like to kind of compare it to lacrosse and football. I say football because football involves tackling. Mm-hmm. Stickball involves tackling.
Oh, you can tackle?
Yes, physical. Without padding.
See?
Yeah, and then I compare it to lacrosse because lacrosse uses a stick and a ball. Stickball, they use 2 sticks and a ball, but the object of stickball is to grab that ball with the 2 sticks and hit it at the 4x4 12-foot pole. And then there's tackling involved. There's 60 players on the field.
That's a lot of people.
It is.
It's a lot of tackling. Is it 30 players per team? It's
yes,
not
ma'am.
okay.
And there's a center, defense, and offense.
How old are you guys when you were first introduced to this sport?
It can start as early as they want it to be. I know there's kids that are even practicing at 3 years old, 4 years old. There was even kids yesterday at the exhibition games playing at just 6 years old. And that starts from there on up.
Because is this something that gets pretty competitive in terms of like winners and holds around for each year?
Oh, yes, it is. Very much so.
A lot of trash talking going on,
of course,
for the stickball tournament. But I love the history behind it too, because it's not just a game that's obviously very physical and carries a lot of clout if you win. Mm-hmm. What was the whole purpose of stickball back in the day?
Well, stickball was used to settle disputes among the tribes or other communities as well. So we carry stickball now to honor our ancestors and try not to lose our culture. That's why we still play this. I think we need to bring stickball back to the world's platform for disputes and all. Wouldn't that be? It would be so neat. Yes.
I think so. I think we just need to, like I said, we just need to bring it into the Olympics and let it be a thing. I bet our people here in Mississippi would probably show up and show out. I know there's a lot more happening with the 70th Choctaw Indian Fair, so we got more with Indian Princess Leilani Allen coming up next. It's also free to listen to us on your local SuperTalk Mississippi radio station, as well as watching us on your computer, your mobile device. Just head on over to SuperTalk TV. We're continuing our conversation with Choctaw Indian Princess Leilani Allen. She's princess for a few more days, but she's been busy at it for the last year. You did mention, though, during the break, that for the 70th annual crowning of the princess, you all are going to get some of the princesses together, 50 plus or so of them. How will it feel to be part of standing on the stage with, 50 plus more women who've sort of served in this role?
I feel like it's going to be such an honor to be with these group of elite young women who once had the title of Choctaw Indian Princess. It's going to be so exciting to see. I can't wait.
It can't wait. And it can't wait, too, for the 75th. I had mentioned 70th. Lots of 70s, 75ths sort of going around. But this is the diamond year, as you mentioned, of the Choctaw Indian Fair. So leading up to this, what is it like on the reservation getting excited for when the fair comes around? When does everybody start buzzing about it's that time of year again?
Well, when the stickball practices start back all the way in like March or February.
Wow.
Yes. Every year after the fair ends, we're excited to see the next fair just for stickball to come around. Yeah, they start practicing in February, March. Princess contestants start coming out way then too. So it's like months leading
Y'all
up to
been
the
thinking
fair.
about this for a while.
For a
So
while,
this is
yes.
kind of the culmination of lots of weeks, lots of months of preparation leading up to this. I did want to mention with the stickball tournament, because I know they're happening tonight. I thought you were going to get a break when you left us here from Good Things. You've been a busy little bee today. But no, you've got to go continue your princess duties and go and support the tournament. Can folks come out and watch that? Is there a way for folks to sort of, if they've never seen it, how do we get involved with it before it wraps up? Because does it go through the fair, or when's like the finale or the ending to the stickball tournament?
It goes through the fair. July 12th will be like the championship games. Yeah, you can watch it. You can come and watch it in Choctaw, Mississippi, or it's on live stream on YouTube as well.
On YouTube as well. I feel like folks need to check that out if they haven't ever done that before. Okay, let's talk about the actual Choctaw Indian Fair. I know that y'all have some great entertainers. Do any come to mind, Leilani, that you want us to be aware of over July 8th through the 12th?
Well, Tuesday, starting out the fair, we have Tasha Cobbs Leonard, and then Wednesday we have the Choctaw Indian Princess pageant, so there will be no entertainment. And then
But that is the entertainment.
That is entertainment, yes.
Yeah, no entertainment. There's other kinds of entertainment.
On Thursday, we have Tatanka Means and Indigenous. And then Friday, we have Mississippi's very own Chapel Hart and Chris Young. And then to close out the fair, we have Flo Rida.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay. Y'all bringing a little, to it. Apple bottom jeans, I see here. My daughter would love that, which is funny that it transcends all those generations. But it's not just about music and entertainment. You guys weave your culture into the fair as much as possible as well. This is an opportunity for people to come out, learn something new, try new foods, see some of the beautiful things that you guys create. You mentioned your beadwork, as well as have a gorgeous basket here. So tell me about the basket and how that intertwines with y'all's culture, everyday culture.
Well, this basket was made by Miss Eleanor Chickaway, and she basically, our baskets were made to just hold things. There's double weave baskets that can hold water, actually.
Really?
Yes. And then it held like berries, and to even get the color, we would use like berries or charcoal, just anything natural that was around. But now that we can use artificial dye. Yeah, and then we added the diamond for the Eastern Diamondback rattlesnake.
You keep talking about this rattlesnake that you love,
yes,
Leilani.
we pay tribute to him.
I am so glad someone's on his side. Y'all can keep him. I am so glad he's important to you guys. But it goes to show, it definitely served its purpose. So will there be either workshops or showings or artists that people can meet and greet and learn more about, like the different basket weavings there if they come to the fair?
Of course, we have the Arts and Crafts Pavilion where they will be weaving baskets, they'll be making beadwork, and also you can buy the baskets and beadwork as well if you wanted to.
And that would be something you couldn't find anywhere else. Now, I know you're waiting on learning how to make dresses, Leilani, but do you know how to weave baskets? Have you been taught that?
No, I haven't, unfortunately. I really wish to hope to one day.
Yeah, you should. I think, I say that, but I've been to the fair and I have seen some of the elders doing it, and then I have watched videos. It's mesmerizing. It's one of those things where it looks like it would be super easy to do, and then when you actually probably try and do it, it's like, what am I doing with my hands?
I know, I'm like, how did y'all do this?
So the beadwork, will there be people on site making beadwork, or is it more of like just set up for you to be able to shop and enjoy?
They're going to be beadworking all week throughout the fair. You'll see them right there at their tables doing the beadwork.
Which is gorgeous too. Again, one of those one-of-a-kind, unique pieces to add into your collection or to sort of to give as a gift. But also, I wouldn't judge anybody if they came out to the fair just to eat and listen to music, because you do have some unique foods that are very unique to your tribe and your everyday culture. So if somebody's coming, I'm sure you'll have all kinds of food trucks and foods and things there. But if I'm coming to get the Mississippi Band of Choctaw Indian experience, what do I need to make sure that I order or try at the fair?
Specifically, the hominy and the Indian taco.
Okay, well, you're going to have to explain both of them to us.
Well, the Indian taco is a fry bread. Have you tasted funnel cake?
Yes.
You know, the bread?
Mm-hmm.
It's like that, but we have like meat and cheese and lettuce. That's an Indian taco. And then you can add like sauce on it.
So is it more of a savory version of it? I bet people flock to that, I'm sure.
Yes, every time I see somebody, they're like, I love the Indian taco. I'm glad you do.
Well, it sounds decadent and delicious, Leilani. So what's the other one you said if we come out we have to try?
Hominy is corn. It's, how would I describe it? Boiled corn. You can cook it outside or you can cook it in a crock pot, but it is so good.
Is it on the cob? Is it loose?
No, it's loose. It's like,
so do you eat it with like a spoon, a fork?
You can eat it with a spoon.
You eat it with a spoon. Is that
good warm?
Is it good warm? Do y'all put it, okay, you eat it obviously as a side, you just serve it there, but is it also put in other things? Like, do y'all cook with it in different ways? Because I'm thinking sometimes you can find hominy, next to the corn at the grocery store, but you accidentally grab it and you put it in like your taco soups or stuffs. I mean, not accidentally, it's a happy accident, should I say, but because you think you're getting a corn. Do y'all also use it in other recipes, or is it more of its own stable side item?
It's more of its own side item.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, so an Indian taco and hominy.
Yes.
Is there a beverage that's unique to you guys, this refreshing this time of year?
We really love sweet tea.
Same, girl. Same. I think absolutely the same. So 75 years ago, Leilani, I know you weren't here with us, obviously. But what was the purpose of the fair, or what is still the purpose of the fair 75 years later? Obviously, it's great entertainment. It's family fun. It's something to do each summer. But at the very core of it, what is the hope for the mission of the fair?
Well, the fair is basically a big celebration of who we are as the Mississippi Band of Choctaw Indians. It showcases our traditions, our values, and our culture. And this is basically something that we hope that future generations can come, see who we are, embrace into their culture more, and hopefully carry that into more generations to come as well.
And I think that's working. I think there's a lot of people who utilize the fair that's a family tradition to come out and enjoy. If it's not and they want to start it, Leilani, where do they get tickets, or how do they know how to, keep up with the lineup and all the things that are happening?
Well, they can like us on Facebook at Choctaw Indian Fair, or we have a website, and it's www.choctawindianfair.com.
And if there was any special piece of advice, if you're going to get the most out of the fair, Leilani, other than getting your Indian taco and your hominy, is there any secret tips or tricks you've got for making the most out of the fair?
Well, if you really want to embrace or immerse yourself into our culture, I would really say go into the traditional dances that we have, as well as the arts and crafts, to show our dances, our social dances, our friendship dances, our animal dances, as well as seeing our beadwork and what comes into our beadwork as well.
When and where will the dances be taking place?
It will be at the main stage dance.
Is that part of the pageant too? Did y'all have to demonstrate any of your dances?
Oh, no. Well, we could if we wanted to. Last year during my presentation, I demonstrated our snake dance during my presentation.
There's that word again. No, I mean, I'm joking with you, and because it's one of those. I have grown to appreciate their existence within our world, and we can coexist lovingly.
From a distance.
But from a distance. But I love learning about that because obviously it's an important piece of the Mississippi Band of Choctaw Indians culture. You said Facebook. Is there another website people can go for tickets or anything?
etix.com.
All right, Leilani, we appreciate your time here. Looking for a great 75th Annual Choctaw Indian Fair, July 8th through the 12th. You guys stick with us. We got more for you coming up next.